Hi, I'm Jessica Nova, and this is Geek Girls Review. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Geek Girls Review. I'm Jessica Nova. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at @thejessicanova, or you can see me on mygeekglory.com. Now, this Lady D, I still can't say her name. I hate words that are tough. It really stresses me out, so we're just going to keep calling her Lady D. This Lady D cosplay was made by my fellow model, Silver Kitsune, and Silver Kitsune's company is Foxy Fancies. So you can get awesome stuff like this. They make amazing burlesque things and cosplay things and other things, and they're just super rad. You should check them out. But anyway, let's get started. What are we going to review? I'll bet you can guess. It's not this cosplay again. We're going to talk about playing Resident Evil 8 Village. I keep wanting to call it The Village, but then when I looked, everything still says Village. So I still think it sounds better with The Village. I think that's also the M. Night Shyamalan movie, so maybe that's why it's just called Village, but that's neither here nor there. It's all just Village, right? So let's talk some of the good. I, like everybody, was so hyped for this game. I normally am a Resident Evil watcher. I like to play parts of the game. I like to kind of fiddle-faddle a little bit, but rarely do I do a full playthrough. I still haven't beat the game all the way. I've seen the endings. I also, with everything that I do, sometimes have completion anxiety about finishing games, so sometimes I just watch the different endings. Yeah. But we're going to give you my mostly unbiased review as a casual gamer. So let's talk about it. Again, I'm Jessica Nova. My pronouns are they, them, and this is Geek Girls Review, an episode on Resident Evil Village. So what did I love? I, like I said, was super excited. I was obsessed with the design for when we saw Lady D, we saw her daughters. Heisenberg is great, and then as we got to see more and more of the different characters in this game, it was such a wild ride, and to me felt just an interesting choice. You know, we had gone in 7 from, I'm not quite sure how to describe them, like the parasitic gross, like this was a family unit that was nasty, like rotting. If I remember correctly, it's the grandma that's like, you're not quite sure if she's even alive. That's at least how I spent most of the last game going, is she a corpse? What is this? And it terrified me. I hated it. It scared the bananas off me. This one was super scary. Some of the jump scares, the things that are Resident Evil notorious for being like frightening, were there, but this family dynamic cracked me up. I found myself just laughing at when Lady D would say Heisenberg was gauche, or just something really, I don't know, there was this element of parody, I guess, of this rich thing, and I think there was an element, at least for me, you know, very much eat the rich, fuck this kind of mentality of these bigger than life. And literally here is this femme rich holding on to tradition, not really like a monster. And it was very allegorical in some ways to me, and I enjoyed that, and I just loved the sibling dynamic. I thought it was really funny. I like the way Mother Miranda has to kind of put them in their place, and Lady D, for all the kind of being the big bad in terms of what we thought we were going to get, having her have somebody above her was interesting too, and I think that kind of worked with the character. I think it worked with the story. I do not like that if you go watch all the cinematic moments that have Lady D in it, it's about 20 minutes, which is pretty lame for someone that everybody was clearly so hyped about, that we were excited to see, that we were excited to get to interact with. And I know it's a game. It's a Resident Evil game. It's not necessarily there to do maybe what I would like as more of a narrative story. I would have loved more of her. I would have loved more of the family. I would have loved more of their bickering. I would like to have played a little bit more from their point of view. I know, again, that breaks the mold, and not in the way that would be normal for this game. So I'm not going to give it negative points for that, but I'm just saying, as someone that really enjoyed kind of the lore and the world building and the way that they worked with this idea of this fucked up family, it was super fun and I wanted more. The gameplay on this I thought was pretty smooth. Again, as a casual gamer, I didn't really have many problems. Let's see, trying to think of the Resident Evils I have played, and I've played at least some on all of them, and this was easy to pick up to kind of figure out how to walk around. I enjoyed the opening. I thought that that was a very creative way to do this. I thought it was a lot of fun and just really grabbed me, and that's what I wanted. I wanted the game to grab me. I did kind of feel like there were areas that they weren't repetitive, but I was a little bored. And part of that, I think, was not getting what I wanted from the game in terms of more of the world that was drawing me in from the teasers. And that was kind of a bummer. I thought the use of the sisters was great. I kind of liked the way, again, I liked the way that the entire family interacted, especially versus how the family interacted in the last one. But if you were looking for more of just a creepy element, nothing really beats the last game when I think you're in the attic or you're in one of the kind of wall closed spaces and you're trying to escape, I think, the mom in the last game. And that was terrifying. And I was just watching that. And I never really had quite that moment of fear in this game, though that was partially because I just really liked the bad guys. And that they weren't as creepy in ways that they had. Even the goofiness of, can't think of their names, the little doll and the other, like they have a line where she's like, "Move, ugly, get out of the way." And it just cracks me up because if you have siblings, there's an element of realism there that this monstrosity and ridiculousness has a very grounded family interaction. That was just very enjoyable. I grew up with two sisters and I liked kind of having that representation in such an absurd way. I love the way that they have Lady D as this giant character. So she's giant in the way that she grabs Ethan and she grabs you. I liked that in being so different than what normally is that type of character in Resident Evils. Like if you fight some of the other big bosses, like you have this grotesque thing. And while she can be scary, there's just a hotness that's there the whole time, and that really hasn't been something I thought Resident Evil did in this type of baddie. There just wasn't enough, especially for as much as she was teased, as much as she was brought forward as the character. At least, you know, we all kind of felt that. It was lacking. And even though the rest of the characters, I was surprised by how much I enjoyed them, there wasn't enough overall to really satisfy any of that. And that sucked. I would like more. I felt that was kind of the consensus overall, is we just weren't satisfied with that. The gameplay was smooth. It operated like a Resident Evil game. I've seen a lot of people liken it to 4, and that they were satisfied because it hit a lot of what they enjoyed about Resident Evil 4. Not having played 4 recently, I can't speak to that. But beyond that, the main thing is that you felt kind of let down. You felt like one thing had been presented to you and then it wasn't wrapped up. I have enjoyed a lot of the mods that are silly. I saw one recently where they went in, and I think it's Pixar characters as all the main baddies, and that was funny. It's just, the dialogue really made this game for me, and I think that is what stuck out to me, is just making it more enjoyable than I thought it would be. Just this element of levity while still being a scary game, while being true to form, and just being dynamic and fun. And if you're looking for a Resident Evil game, maybe you don't like to be too scared, but you like good dialogue, I think this is one to try. Like I said, it is scary. It's Resident Evil. It's creepy, but it works in a more accessible medium, I guess, in some ways. So that's my review. I enjoyed it. I just want more of the family, and I would love to know what you think. I'd love to know what you think I should play next. So again, I am I am the Jessica Nova on Instagram. You can see me there. You can see me on mygeekglory.com. My amazing cosplay was made by Silver Kitsune, another mygeekglory.com model. Make sure you like and subscribe, or like, subscribe, and keep your eyes peeled for what we review next. And I'll see you soon. Ha 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 ha.